What's up, guys? Gamer Vlog Guy back here with another vlog. Going to be going over the George Floyd case so far. Okay, they're doing the jury selection right now. They're already on the fifth juror. There's going to be a 14 jury, 12 in the box, two for just in case, two for emergencies or whatever, two on standby. Um, Wanted to give my thoughts and opinions on what's going to be going on through this trial and explain to you why it's going the way it's going to go, why the charges are the charges, and explain to you the legal reasons why and what I expect to happen during this trial. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to go over the facts of the case so far. We have Derek Chauvin, the cop that put the knee in the back of George Floyd. He is being uh, accused and being put on trial for murder. Okay, of George Floyd. Okay. Did he deliberately kill him? Did he deliberately kill George Floyd? Yes or no? Did he help kill George Floyd? Yes or no? I'm going to explain to you what I think and why I think that. Please subscribe to the comment section below with your opinions on what you think is going to happen and what your opinions are about the charges. Okay, I want to say this before we get into this. Please, please, please have an open mind if you're going to watch this trial, which is being broadcast live on Court TV, the whole trial. Please have an open mind. Do not jump to conclusions about this trial. Let the judicial system in the state of Minnesota play out. I'm asking you, please do that, and I'll tell you why. And I'm guilty of this, and I'll raise my hand and say I am guilty of this. We need, as a society, to stop convicting people of crimes when we don't know all the facts of the case. I'm guilty of that. I convicted, in my opinion, in my court of law, in my opinion, I already convicted Derek Chauvin of this crime. That this trial was a formality, and I'm also not expecting much to come out of it, and I'm also preparing myself for the worst, which would be a non-guilty verdict, and he walks away scot-free and no charges, or he gets a slap on the wrist, gets a couple of years in prison. The big charges he's found out guilty of, maybe a few minor charges. He maybe spends maybe 6 months in prison with time served, and he's let out. I'm preparing for that too. I want to bring up a name particular to this, and that's Trayvon Martin. And I know it's going to be hard to talk about, but hear me out. Trayvon Martin, that case happened in the state of Missouri. The state of Missouri, their laws on what their definitions are of first, second, and third degree murder are different from the definitions that they define as first, second, and third degree murder in the state of Minnesota. Minnesota, Missouri, two different states, two different philosophies, two different ways of life, basically. With that being said, is Derek Chauvin guilty of first degree murder or is he only guilty of second degree murder? I'll explain to you what I think and why I think that. It may shock you to hear this, but Derek Chauvin is not And I repeat, he is not guilty of first-degree murder. First-degree murder, the basic language of it, the basics, deliberately causing death to someone. It was deliberately. I plan on going there and killing George Floyd. I know he's there. I'm going to deliberately kill him. It's already set in my mind. I'm Derek Chauvin, as an example. I'm Derek Chauvin. I'm going to deliberately kill this kid. I, as the DA, say I'm the DA now. I cannot prove that with 100%. That he deliberately did that. That he deliberately went there with the mindset that he was going to kill this boy, kill this kid. I can't prove that. I can't even prove intent that he's intending, which is the same thing. I'm going to prove intent, prove that he already made up his mind, prove that he knew George Floyd was the person they were calling about. I got to prove that when the people in that store calling 911 prove that they knew and that Derek Chauvin knew that George Floyd was the person they were calling that the call was for. He didn't know George Floyd going to the scene of the crime. He didn't know George Floyd was there. You see what I'm saying? To me, I have to know either I'm going to definitely deliberately do this and deliberately kill someone, or I'm going to deliberately kill someone in particular. See the difference? I'm going to deliberately kill someone, or I'm going to deliberately kill someone in particular. There's someone particularly that I want to kill, that I want to put in the ground, that I want to wipe off the face of this earth and make sure they don't live ever again. That's what the state of Minnesota, in my opinion, cannot prove Derek Chauvin was deliberately going to do that. Either or. I'm going to go there with my mind that I'm going to kill someone, or I'm going to go there and kill George Floyd because I know George Floyd's there and I know that they're calling on him. From what I understand, from what I know, he didn't know that George Floyd was at that store, number one. Number two, I don't know that Derek Chauvin was planning on killing anyone, no matter if it was George Floyd, person A, person B, person C, whether it was a woman, a child. I can't prove that. So first degree goes out the window. Second degree. Did he cause the death of George Floyd all on his own? Or did the fentanyl that he was on and the drugs that he was on kill him? Or option C, did him with his knee in his neck, on his neck, plus the fentanyl equal death? That's second degree murder, in my mind. You're helping kill him with the fentanyl. And you're also helping kill him by deliberately obstructing a nurse that has came out and said that she was at the scene of the crime and was told not to render aid to George Floyd when he was still alert and alive, saying, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. Now, let's just say the drugs were starting to take effect and his organs were shutting down. The lungs, the heart, his respiratory system was shutting down because of the drugs. They were shutting them down. The fentanyl dose was so high it was shutting his organs down. Let's just go there for a second. Here's where I can say that he helped kill George Floyd, not only with his knee in his back, but also denying and not rendering aid to George Floyd, and denying and obstructing a nurse from rendering aid to George Floyd. That I can prove and say that he did, because it's on the video, him telling that nurse, and um she announced and said that she was a nurse on the scene. She identified herself as a nurse. That's of a nurse that worked in a local Minnesota in a local Minneapolis hospital, and she knew that she could render aid to him, and she was told not to, with threats of arrest, of obstruction, whatever, because Derek Chauvin was saying to his other, because there's two or three other cops there, telling those other cops to, if she comes towards me, arrest her. I'm going to take that as a threat that you're trying to and obstruct a police officer in the course of his duties. You're going to be arrested. You stay back. That I can say and prove that it's on the video that he did say, that he did do. So he did. So in that argument too, on top of the knee in his back, deliberately helped kill George Floyd. On top of the fentanyl. So that I can say that's second-degree murder, which will carry a 25 to 40-year sentence in prison in the state of Minnesota. I can prove that because it's on the video, just like it's on the video with the knee in his neck, on the neck area. Third-degree murder. It's just like first-degree. I can't prove third-degree murder. They're trying to bring in third-degree murder. They're trying to bring up third-degree murder charges that were already dismissed, that they're trying to bring back. You can't charge him with third-degree murder because he did not accidentally kill him. Third degree is like, oh, it's an accidental death. I accidentally killed him. I pushed him. I knocked him down. We got into a tussle. He hit his head, and he died. We were tussling around with the gun. It went off, and I accidentally shot him. That's accidental. That's third degree. I can't prove that because he did not accidentally put his knee in his neck. He did not accidentally knock him down. He didn't deliberately knock him down, but he pushed him down, and but he put his knee in his neck. You see what I'm saying? He put his knee. That wasn't accidental. He was deliberately doing that because George Floyd was already handcuffed, and they still had the knee in his neck, and he was still being held down onto the ground. He wasn't. They didn't bring him up. They when they say he's the suspect's running. They grab him, they put him down, they put the knee in the back, handcuff him. They get off of him, pull him up, put him in the cop car, and all the way to jail. They didn't do that. 8 minutes and 46 seconds. You cannot put a knee into someone's back for 8 minutes and 46 seconds and say that's an accident. You cannot accidentally threaten a nurse that's on the scene. Do not render aid or we will arrest you for obstruction. And blah, blah, blah. And verbally threaten, and verbally abuse, and verbally try to scare the nurse from doing her duties and obstructing her duties. That's not accidental. I can't say, oh, that accidentally slipped out of my mouth. You can't say that. I can't prove that. As an example, I go somewhere as an example, and I verbally threaten to blow up a building or blow up a whatever. That's not something you say accidentally. I know I'm going to do that. I thought it in my mind. I'm angry. I said it. That's why that's where in my opinions, these are my arguments for not, you can't do and these are my arguments for each first, second, and third degree. These are my arguments. These are the reasons why we cannot say we can't charge with anything but second degree. This is why. Because you cannot prove, I can't prove, and nobody in their right mind can. And the state of Minnesota damn sure can't prove that Derek Chauvin purposely killed him, and we can't prove that he accidentally did it. We can prove that he deliberately killed him, and he had help with the fentanyl and the other drugs he was on. The combination killed him. The drug concoction in George Floyd's body with the knee on the neck killed him. The drugs in his system causing his body causing his organs to shut down, his respiratory system to shut down, the lungs and the heart to shut down and stop working. I can prove that the drugs did that. I can prove that. I can get a doctor. I can get any scientist to prove that uh, this amount of milligrams of fentanyl in a normal body of a normal human body, healthy male, will do this. Just like I can prove a certain amount of cocaine in somebody's system could kill them, or a certain amount of heroin, a certain amount of whatever mixed with another, especially if you mix drugs and mix pills together, and then you add, say liquor or vodka or beer. That's why they say if you take your medication, if you're on medication, don't take it with liquor. Don't take it with alcohol or liquor because it'll mix and it won't be good. You could die. Or you could have some kind of side effect that you might have to go to the hospital and get help. That I can prove. I got no problem doing that. It's easy. Anybody can prove that about fentanyl and the other drugs he was on. Just like with speed, crack, cocaine, heroin, what have you, I can prove that. But I can also prove putting a knee on somebody's back and putting all my weight on them and cutting off their carotid artery and restricting blood flow could kill them too. I can prove both of those things. That's not their problem. The problem is I cannot prove that it was that the knee in the neck was accidental, and I cannot prove that he was going there deliberately and knowing. I cannot prove that he was deliberately going to do this, and I cannot prove that he knew that George Floyd was that George Floyd was a person they were calling about in that store. I can't prove that because again, first degree, I would have to be going there knowing and planning that I was going to commit a murder, or going there knowing that George Floyd was there and I'm going to kill him. Either one of those two, I can't prove, and without reasonable doubt. That's why that first degree goes out the window. The third degree, I can't prove that it was accidental, but I can prove second degree that he deliberately did what he did, and he helped along with the fentanyl and the other drugs he was on, to help further and speed up the death of George Floyd. So that to me is what I'm saying. That's my argument, and that's my opinions. And I want to make that clear too. These are my opinions and how I understand. But again, please like, subscribe, comment, and stay tuned. And I'll be back again starting with updates on the 29th of March. But this is just my pre-trial arguments on each count of first, second, and third degree murder. Thanks again for watching. And again, peace out and stay safe. And please have an open mind with this case and just think about it logically. And that's all I ask. Peace out.